tells me everything is not going to be fine.
Wow, a musical episode for a season finale. Yeah, believe it or not, due to contracts, the series was only picked up by Hasbro to produce 65 episodes. And there were only 13 left for season 3. Believe it or not, and might very well could have been, very end of the series. Luckily, Hasbro did see how popular it was, and its rise in toy sales, so they wrote more contracts and ordered more seasons. But it begs the question, what if they hadn't? What if they hadn't? Was if this was the end of the show? What do I think of it? Let's take a look at episode 13 of season 3, Magically Mystery Cure, through the lens of not just the season finale, but the end of the show entirely. Get your kid ass out of here. Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight, and could you imagine? Think of it in a different timeline. This is how the show ends. No big laser battle with Tire K, no real character depth for Discord, no Fluttershy becoming truly confident, no Starlight Glimmer, and no Twilight becoming the ruler of Equestria. No, instead we get something just a little more humble, a little more down-to-earth, and what the show is actually about. Despite its initial pilot, the show is never about some grand adventure fighting off villains and saving all of Equestria. No, it was something more tangible, more relatable. It was a show dedicated to teaching little 5-year-old girls about friendship. Yeah, I know people hate it when I bring up the fact that the show is indeed made for girls. They think it's somehow an insult to their masculinity. Boys can never enjoy a show about girls and dresses and makeup. And now it's even worse in our world today, with the arguments on what a man and what a woman is. Yeah, I don't want to get into that argument either. I think the whole thing has gotten way out of control, and it's dumb to say the least. This video isn't about the political arguments of today. No, it's about a truly timeless piece of media. An escape from our hellish world of bickering viewpoints, where we all can't for dear life agree to disagree and live our own lives. No, it's about a cartoon that, while made for little girls, never treated its audience like idiots. It's not like ordinary girl-type media. Look, as a kid, as a boy who was with 2 sisters, I hate that type of media. And no, I'm not saying there shouldn't be boy media or girl media. It makes sense that a more girly type show will attract a female audience, and a boy type show will attract a male audience. But that's surface level, and I won't deny that surface level, and LP looks like that. But in the end of the day, Friendship is Magic was never about makeup, giggling girls, and silly dresses at his death. And I know what I'm talking about because through my siblings, I had to share my TV and watch girl content. And I've seen Barbie, and I've seen Monster High, and whatever crap my sister was watching. I hate that make-up boy talk trash, and so does my sisters. Instead, my sister preferred Timmy Turner or SpongeBob or Danny Phantom, you know, movies and shows with real, genuine characters. One of them watched the old LP like Gen 1 or once and never picked it up again after a week. That's what the world thought MLP, G4 was going to be, the superficial FRU dress-themed series. I thought that too, and I'm glad that I was wrong. Yes, Rarity does exist. She is the embodiment of girly fro of our Odysses. But look a little deeper, and you find a down-to-earth character with real flaws trying to learn how to do her best. And it's not just Rarity, but all the characters. All the main 6 don't just giggle at tea parties. They go through real, mundane situations played up to the max for a kid's show and learn real, valuable lessons from their experience. Watching them, women truly had something to look up to, and so did men. Now, boys, you think they're just guns, muscles, and yell at each other. And yeah, a lot of boy media, when looked at surface level, seems like all they want to do is blow something up. If it has anything to do with a girl, it's about how attractive they are and nothing to do with them as a person. You think that is our reality? But Star Wars is a great example of how. Despite the surface being that, it's really a series about family and coming to growth, something guys actually like. We like to see ourselves as the protectors of our loved ones and grow stronger for them, willing to even risk falling to evil to protect them, hoping for redemption of our dark deeds. And with that, there are real genuine guild bosses. Not just stand on the sidelines and be a damsel in distress, but actually fight. Be strong, courageous, and yet not invisible. Still be able to wear a dress, look amazing, and be okay with a man saving them. Hell, men save women, women save men. despite not being the superhero versus Darth Vader. Despite being a princess in Eden, yes, falling in love, neither Leia nor her mother merely in distress, or merely in distress. They were leaders on the front lines trying to stop a war. Luke was a knight, a soldier, but his sister was a princess, a leader, supporting each other as men and women, as all families should. I use Star Wars as a comparison a lot in my videos because it's more or less my background, and until recent years, it was my corner, my space. People want to argue it was a place for just boys, and girls were not allowed in too. But that's never the case. My sister loved Star Wars before I got into it. My little sister! I was a stubborn idiot who didn't think anything my dad would be into was cool, until I saw Darth Vader and had to know more. Something about Vader's mask just fascinated me. It was scary enough to terrify me, but interested me enough to want to see what was underneath the monster. I did not expect to find a broken man inside, but the story still, to this day, amazes me. Yes, the surface-level stuff got me interested, but what kept me was the depth, and My Little Pony had the same. If you're a guy, the surface looks girly good. It's made for girls, but its depth is what will keep you. The lessons MLP teaches are wonderful, the characters are funny, the animation is good, and the stories are entertaining. If this was the end of the show, this is what the story was about. Let's start from the top. Twilight, a bookworm who didn't understand friendship, finds how to not be a loner. She understands through her interactions that there is more to a friendship, to a relationship, than superficial substance. Friends fight, friends argue, but in the end of the day, our differences and our common interests keep things lively. Pinky went from this obnoxious, bubbly character to understanding responsibility. We learn that she genuinely cares and just wants those around her to smile and is willing to do anything to cheer someone up when they're sad. Applegate goes from this tomboy, stubborn, can do anything herself character to understanding she needs help, learning to put her pride aside, forgetting character differences, and always standing as a symbol of honesty. Rarity goes from this one-dimensional diva to making mistakes about thinking only of herself. Instead, she learns to be generous and cherish those around her, not just her friends, but her sister. Dash goes from this arrogant, full of herself jerk to being the coolest pony in the room, learning that books and being smart isn't an insult. It's cool to read, and she achieves her lifelong dreams and is always loyal not only to herself but to her friends. Yes, she can make mistakes, but she will always make up for it in the end. Fluttershy, despite being shy, goes from this timid, can barely speak person to standing up for herself and her friends, and understanding children need a firm handle sometimes. She's still shy, but she knows she can be brave when she needs to be. Spike learns to have faith in the family and friends. And then to be himself, that despite being a dragon, he defines who he wants to be, not those around him, though it helps to have supportive people in your life. He knows that and tries to help no matter what, even if at times he can be distracted and not take his responsibilities seriously. All these lessons come to a big one-episode ending musical. Twilight wakes up in Ponyville to a nice day, only to realize something has gone terribly wrong. All her friends' marks are mixed up. Rarity has dashes, Fluttershy's, and so on. She has to figure out how to put things right, fixing their marks and helping them as only a true friend would, helping them realize their real duties and talents. Her journey, alone, saving what not even Star Swirl was capable of, discovers a new magic friendship, and she is granted the ultimate level of her skills. She becomes an unicorn princess. Yeah, I never saw that coming. Despite the element of harmony becoming a crown, I never even once thought, watching the first time, that she was going to become a princess. All right. So looking at the episode this way, was this a satisfying ending to the series? Forget everything I know after this point. Forget Discord's grand arc or starlight. This is the original concept of the show, the original story. And while I do think the best was yet to come, this was a fine ending, if not a little rushed. Honestly, if this was a two-parter and we got a little more time to digest the dire, troubling situation and the pacing wasn't so fast, moving from nearly one song to the next, I think it would have been a fine end to the show. Not a 10 out of 10 amazing send-off like the real finale of the series. But I would have given it a 7. I still do. Despite it having the most catchy song of the series up to this point. That really encapsulates the series, that being a true friend, there are better episodes throughout the 3 seasons, let alone the rest of the show. Thank goodness this was not the series end, because in all honesty, this is not my phasin. As it sits, the 3 seasons rank as 2 as my favorite, then 3, then 1. But as much as season 2 captivated me and season 3 entertained me, it was season 4 that takes the cake for me. I'm so thankful the show didn't end here, leading to my favorite seasons of the entire series. And I want to be clear, My Little Pony was never going to end after season 3. Hasbro never wanted to end it. They just only ordered so many episodes, and as soon as it was clear people loved it, they were not going to stop there. But then why did the show end after season 8, with 9 being its official end of video for another day? However, it is interesting that if the show didn't do as well as it did, impossible to be honest, but this could have been the end of the show, and I honestly think it was an alright ending. Definitely not as amazing as the real end of the show, but decent to where I can see it as the good ending. We'll be getting into the real ending of the show soon enough. Next is my favorite season, but first, I want to hear your thoughts on this episode as a season finale and as a series finale. As a season finale, I think it's decent. Not the best, but a fun episode with a good surprise I didn't see coming. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, maybe you'd be interested in my ranking of the main 6 and learn my opinion on both before I watch the 9th season after. Check out that video next to see that. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, my friends, friendship is magic.